In this video, we're diving into the world of HTML custom elements, discovering how to create your very own HTML elements using web components. It's a powerful way to extend HTML and build reusable components for your web projects. So, what exactly are web components? Web components are a set of web platform application programming interfaces, also known as APIs, that empower you to create custom, reusable HTML elements with encapsulated functionality. Think of them as building blocks that you can define once and use anywhere in your web applications. There are some key technologies that make web components possible. First, custom elements, allowing you to define your own HTML tags. Second, shadow document object model, which provides encapsulated document object model and styling, ensuring that your component styles don't interfere with the rest of your page. Finally, HTML templates, which enables you to write reusable markup templates, making it easier to create complex components. Why should you consider using custom elements in your projects? There are several compelling reasons. First, reusability. You can create components once and reuse them across your application, or even in multiple projects, greatly reducing code duplication. Second, encapsulation. The shadow document object model isolates your component's document object model and cascading style sheets, preventing style conflicts and ensuring true encapsulation, meaning the component's internal workings are hidden from the outside world. Third, maintainability. Since custom elements are self-contained, they're easier to maintain, test, and update independently of the rest of your code. Finally, framework agnostic. Custom elements work with any JavaScript framework or even without a framework. They're just standard HTML elements that your browser understands. Let's walk through the basic steps to create a custom element. First, create a class that extends HTML. Element. This class will define the behavior of your custom element. Second, define custom behavior and class methods. This is where you add the JavaScript code that makes your element do what you want it to do. Third, register the element with custom elements.define, passing in the name of your element and the class you created. Finally, use your new element in HTML. Just like any other HTML. Tag. Here's an example. First, define the new element. Class Hello World extends HTML. Element, then the constructor method. Super is called. Create a shadow root. Constant shadow is equal to this .attach shadow. The mode is open. Create element, constant wrapper equals document.create element. The tag is span and wrapper.text content is equal to hello world. Then attach to shadow document object model, shadow.append child. The tag is wrapper, register the custom element, custom elements.define, hello-world, hello world. Once you've registered your custom element, you can use it just like any other standard HTML element. This includes using it as HTML. Tags in your markup, creating it via JavaScript, using attributes for configuration, and adding event listeners. Here are some examples. The tag hello-world, /hello-world. The tag user card name is equal to John Doe. Avatar is equal to avatar.jpg, the tag user card. Now let's look at how to create elements with JavaScript. Constant user card equals document.createElement, the tag user card. Usercard.setAttribute name Jane Smith. Usercard.setAttribute avatar Jane.jpg. Usercard.addEventListener, click event. Console.log user card clicked. Document.body.append child, user card. You can also access properties directly. Usercard.name is equal to Jane Smith. Console.log usercard.name. Custom elements have several lifecycle callbacks that you can use to run code at specific points in the element's life. First, connected callback. It is invoked when the custom element is first connected to the document's document object model. For example, connected callback. Element added to the document object model. This .render and this .setup event listeners. Second, disconnected callback. It is invoked when the custom element is disconnected from the document's document object model. For example, disconnected callback, clean up resources. This .remove event listeners and this .stop observers. Third, attribute changed callback. It is invoked when one of the custom element's attributes is added, removed, or changed. For example, attribute changed callback, name old value new value. React to attribute changes. If name is equal to status and old value is not equal to new value. This .update status new value. Finally, adopted callback. It is invoked when the custom element is moved to a new document. Adopted callback, element moved to new document, console.log, element adopted into new document in this .reset state. Shadow Document Object Model provides encapsulation for document object model and cascading style sheets in a web component, keeping the component's internal structure separate from the main document. Here are some benefits of using Shadow Document Object Model. Cascading style sheet scoping, styles don't leak in or out. Document Object Model isolation, I.ds won't conflict. Simplified cascading style sheets, more specific selectors not needed. Let's see how to implement Shadow Document Object Model. Class User Card extends HTML. Element constructor super is called. Create a shadow root. Constant shadow is equal to this .attached shadow mode open. Create elements. Constant wrapper is equal to document.create element. Tag is div. Wrapper.set attribute class card. Add styles to Shadow Document Object Model. Constant style is equal to document.create element tag style. Style.text content is equal to .card. Border is 1 pixel solid number CCC. Padding 16 pixels. Border radius 8 pixels. Attached to Shadow Document Object Model. Shadow.append child style. Shadow.append child wrapper. Slots are placeholders in your Shadow Document Object Model that users can fill with their own markup, allowing for component composition and customization. Default slots accept any content. Named slots target specific content. Slots create a flexible component application programming interface, also known as API. Here's an example of using a component with slots. The tag custom card. The tag h2 slot is equal to title card title /h2. The tag p, this goes in the default slot /p. The tag span slot is equal to footer content /span. The tag custom card. Now let's see how to implement slots. Class custom card extends HTML. Element constructor super is called. Constant shadow is equal to this .attached shadow mode open. Create template with slots, shadow.innerHTML is equal to the tag style.card, border 1 pixel solid number CCC, border radius 8 pixels, padding 16 pixels. .card header font weight bold. .card footer, font size 0.8 em. div class card header. The tag slot name is equal to title, default title, /slot. /div class card content, the tag slot default content, /slot, /div class card footer, the tag slot name is equal to footer, /slot, /div, /div. Custom elements can interact with both HTML attributes and JavaScript properties, but they serve different purposes. Attributes are used in HTML markup while properties are JavaScript objects. Attributes only have string values, while properties can hold any JavaScript value. Attributes reflect the initial state of the element, while properties reflect the current state. Attributes use kebab case naming, while properties use camel case naming. Now let's look at how to implement properties and attributes. Class user profile extends HTML. Element. Define observed attributes. Static get observed attributes, return user ID and avatar. Getters and setters for properties, get user ID, return this _user ID. Set user ID value, this _user ID is equal to value. Reflect to attribute, this set attribute user ID value, this update user. Attribute changed callback, name old value, new value. If old value is equal to new value, return. If name is equal to user ID, this _user ID is equal to new value, this update user. Here are some best practices to keep in mind when creating custom elements. First, naming conventions. Always use a hyphen in custom element names. Be descriptive but concise. Use prefixes for related components. Second, component design. Follow the single responsibility principle. Keep components small and focused. Design a clear application programming interface, also known as API, with properties and events. Third, performance. Minimize document object model operations. Use lazy initialization when possible. Clean up resources in disconnected callback. Finally, compatibility. Use polyfills for older browsers. Test across different browsers. Consider progressive enhancement. Here are some resources for further learning. 1. Web components, web component specifications, custom elements everywhere. If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.